Hello, my beauties. Hello. Come in. Come in. Sit down. Take a breath. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something very specific, and that is safety. Now, I am not going to talk about it in a way that is alarmist or that means to terrify or scare anyone, which is normally how we receive the message of safety via the news, via social media. I was just scrolling on TikTok and, they were talking about how bodies were found here and women be careful with this. And I'm not approaching safety that way. I'm approaching safety in your mind, safety in your body, safety in your heart. Because if you are not feeling, or when you are not feeling safe in your home, literally the body is your home, your temple, it's impossible for you to feel safe anywhere out in the world. This idea for creating this video was spawned from another one of my digital mentors, Dr. Mindy Peltz. She was on a podcast and she said something that really struck me. And whenever I have those moments of hearing something or seeing something that really inspires me, I am really aware of it and I take note of it. So what she said on the podcast was, when I'm moving through my day, am I in environments that make me feel safe? And it's a real, bland kind of question, but how safe do we feel in the environments that we choose to expose ourselves to? I am very aware that if you are not feeling safe in your home, in your temple, in your body, it's going to be that much easier to put yourself in situations with people, in environments that are not safe for you. But how do you do that? Well, one, you have to be self-aware. Two, you have to acknowledge your boundaries. And three, you have to be able to respect yourself enough to own the yeses in terms of what environments make you feel safe and what environments don't. So I have just returned from a trip back home to California. I will link the video where I was feeling kind of anxious with my sister's baby shower coming up. I will link that if you're interested in looking at it. I had not seen my mom in 5 years, and I was feeling really, anxious in my body. I felt really, I wasn't sure how the interaction was going to go. I knew my mom was going to be there. I attempted to reach out to her prior to the baby shower. She did not respond to my text message, but I knew that I would have to be confronted with seeing her face to face. And it's one thing to visualize a circumstance, how you would want it to go, but then when you are actually in the situation, it can be very different. So that's where the anxiety in my body was coming from. And when she came into the party, I got there first. When she got to the baby shower, I definitely had a surge of anxiety. And when I feel anxious in my body, I busy myself. I feel like anxiety for me has always felt like, okay, I need to busy myself. What can I be learning? What can I be doing? I need to use this energy productively. And that, while that is helpful, on the other hand, it has caused me to kind of spin and kind of go in a circle in terms of trying to distance myself from the emotions that I'm feeling by just keeping my hands and my body busy. But it wasn't like that. It was very strange. She came into the baby shower. We immediately, acknowledged each other. She came over. She gave me a hug, and we talked a little bit. We really didn't get into everything, but we had some pleasant little surface level talk, and that it was perfectly fine. And we had a wonderful day. It was a wonderful day. And I really do attribute that to all of the consciousness that I have been applying to my everyday actions. Doesn't matter if I'm brushing my teeth, if I'm cooking, if I'm petting my cat, if I'm listening to music. I do my best and I endeavor to be present with everything that I do. So that way, in moments where I am challenged, because those challenges are coming regardless if you plan for them or not, life is going to life. I am that much more equipped to handle the challenge because I've been in such a practice mode that I can just sit in it and I can rely on these tools that I've cultivated so that I can see my way to the other side of whatever challenge I find myself. In fact, there was something that Eckhart Tolle said about this specific thing, about presence. He said, don't wait till you're challenged to practice presence, but a challenge is an alarm bell, an opportunity. Don't wait until the alarm goes off, because the alarm isn't going to warn you if you haven't been practicing presence when you're challenged. This is why, and these are my words, when you are not practicing presence, the challenges only get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why when that popular saying, when it rains, it pours, it's true, because we are so unpracticed at cultivating presence that the universe really has to kind of hit us upside the head to say, hey, listen, I am attempting to speak to you. And Oprah has said for years that first the universe throws a pebble, then it throws a stone, then it throws a brick. You know, it's constantly attempting to speak to you. And that is the same for our bodies. Our bodies are always attempting to speak to us. And the environments we put ourselves in, the thoughts that we think, the people that we are around, because our safety is inherent to our survival as a species. We are no longer in threat of, depending on where you live in the world, obviously. Fortunately, here in the United States, we are not in any imminent danger, physical danger. I'm not going to step outside my front door and be confronted with war or any casualty, thank goodness. And so how we choose to carry the safety that within us is a demonstration of the presence that we have been consciously practicing. And also, since I brought up other parts of the world, it's so important that we are practicing that presence, not for ourselves, but for the people who are living in those circumstances, because we are all one collective consciousness. We are all collectively a human race, and the decisions that we make, the presence that we bring to our moments now, really do have the effect of bringing awareness into these situations and of these people, where these people are actually experiencing daily physical assaults on their safety. So when I was younger, for many, many years, I did not like conflict. I am not a confrontational person whatsoever. And because I was raised in such a house where my parents were screaming at each other for, days and days, and I would hear that, I was very aware at a very young age that the volume in which you communicate really says nothing in terms of your capacity to listen to the other person. I was very aware of that at a young age. And I also was very aware of how important communication was. But we live in a world that does not understand peaceful communication. We live in a world of people needing to see and have a physical demonstration of whatever you are attempting to convey, which is where violence comes from. If peace were actually the consciousness at which we lived in dominantly, there would be no reason for me to get to the extent of attempting to communicate my feeling by getting violent, because you would have the respect for my humanity, I would have the respect for your humanity, and we could meet each other at that level to where I wouldn't have to communicate in such a violent way. However, again, that's not the way we are. That's not our collective level of consciousness yet. So for years and years and years, I forced myself, when I found myself in conflict because people didn't understand me, because people didn't like me, because I had a disagreement with someone, I would force myself into a conflict that literally did not feel right in my body. How did I know it didn't feel right in my body? I was anxious. I would literally stutter when I was attempting to get my point across with whoever, because I knew in my mind, in my heart, in my body that I was not a confrontational person. It's like my mom always said, if somebody is looking for a fight, it's going to be easy to fight with them. There are people out there who are just walking wounds, and it is so important that we handle each other with care, because you really never know. You might say the thing or do the thing that really has the capacity to set someone off on a really negative trajectory. So it's very important that you are conscious about your own presence and about your own humanity so that you can recognize it in someone else. But I did not respect my humanity, and I did not respect the safety that I felt or that I could cultivate within my humanity for many, many years. I allowed other people to drag me into conflict, but I no longer do that. I will literally walk away from you. No words. I will literally pivot and walk away. So the day after the baby shower, I'm kind of like telling such a, anyway, the day after the baby shower, I was extremely overwhelmed. I am an introvert. I am a true introvert. It is a challenge for me to be in an environment, in a party environment, in an environment with a lot of different people, a lot of different noises, a lot of stuff going on. I could get very overstimulated very easily. And couple that with the fact that my sister is pregnant and I have the emotions of all of that. Couple that with the fact that I hadn't seen my mom in 5 years, and, now she is face to face with me. So all of those things combined, the day after the baby shower, I was just like, you know what? I need to take this day for myself. I need to come back to a level of homeostasis within my own body, so that way the next time I am out and about, I can really come with the level of consciousness. I can approach every situation with the level of consciousness that I know I am capable of. But we don't do that. Unfortunately, we don't respect our own levels of safety that we feel. We attempt to push past things instead of really listening to our body. And that's when we find ourselves getting into car accidents, getting into screaming matches with our friends, taking things to a level in which they don't really probably didn't need to get to, because we don't respect the fact that our body is attempting to communicate to us, hello, I don't feel safe. I need a moment. Give me a moment to get back to my safety. Give me a moment to get back to my balance, so that way I can get back and approach this with a level of maturity, emotional and mental maturity. But we don't do that often. We're not practiced in presence. One of the ways that you can that is a clear demonstration of that is the food that we choose to eat. If you are choosing to eat foods that you know are not good for you, whatever foods those are, you are communicating. That is a demonstration that you do not feel safe in your body. If you felt safe, why would you poison it? If you felt safe, why would you put something in it that is not digestible? Now, obviously, perfection is not the goal. It's not about perfection. It is about being aware of these things. Everybody should have a balance of things that we indulge in and things that we attempt to stay away from. But now, at this level of knowledge and information, the abundance of information that we have at our disposal, anybody could find out any facts about the food that we are intaking into our body and whether or not that is going to cultivate a level of balance in our emotions and our mental stability. But that is challenging. It is not easy to do. It is not easy to do. We are so addicted. There's no other way to put it. We are addicted to food. We are addicted to control. We are addicted to substances. We have so many addictions, and it's all because we are trying to distance ourselves from the humanity that exists within us. But we can't. There is no amount of drug or food or alcohol or whatever your addiction of choice is that will stifle your consciousness calling you towards more, towards deeper, towards higher. And that's what these things, that's what the pebble and the rock and the stone, these challenges that come along, that's what they aim to do. They aim to tell you, okay, you are out of alignment with your humanity, with your consciousness. Let me bring this challenge to you so that way you can readjust yourself to more, to deeper, to higher, because that's what we are here to do. Just like a plant is here to grow towards the sun, we are here to grow into ourselves, into our humanity, into our consciousness, deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, these things are not easy. They are, it is a practice. And giving yourself grace when you have made the mistake, showing yourself compassion is all a part of the journey as well. But I'm here to walk with you on this journey. You are not alone. The experiences that you have are valid. You are valuable. You are worthy. Again, you are not alone. I see you. And that's what I am cultivating, is a sense of acknowledgement that yes, things do happen. Yes, I did get my feelings hurt. Yes, I have not talked to my mom in 5 years. But that does not need to stifle my decisions or my ability to feel safe today. It does not. One thing does not have to mean the other. Two things can be true at the same time. My friends, I am proud of the work that you're doing. I am proud of the work you continue to do. Thank you for continuing to show up. Please check out this next video, and I will see you next time.